these kind of things down and just kind of get reps at it. You know, you need to practice it in order to get it down. And I think that's just something that we were doing during OTAs.
You know, I know you guys, as no guard position, have been pretty versatile throughout your careers here and asked to move around a lot. Seems like what we saw yesterday at practice, a little bit more zero tech, like true zero in this defense than maybe before. What are some of the challenges you found in that, or what are some things that maybe you like about that?
I actually love the zero tech. That's probably preferred. If obviously, like, I like the 3 tech, I like the G, but yesterday we were running primarily dollar. I think that's what you're talking about, where we have a 0 and a knockback 5 technique. So I don't really see any problems with it. I enjoy it. It's what I'm used to. You know, last year we ran the 3-4. Now we're running the 2 5s and the 0. So I don't really see a problem with it. I enjoy it.
From when we talk to coaches, they often mention on defense they want to kind of combine what the old staff did well and what the new staff did well at Cincinnati. Just what does that look like as a player in this scheme trying to learn it?
I think Coach Leonard brought his own strengths, and I think Coach Tressel brings his own strengths in terms of their knowledge of the game. Some philosophies are different. Some things we can't do that we used to be able to do. Some things they want us to do now that they wouldn't let us do, you know? So it's a whole shift in responsibilities and just gap integrity and things like that. But I think overall, like, the transition has been smooth. I enjoy it. I like our coaches a lot, and it's been great.
It's been around a couple of years. Keanu's kind of been here. You kind of have a chance to have your largest role this year. Just, what's that like for you, and just how rewarding does it feel maybe to kind of have that chance?
You know, it's a blessing. I don't take it for granted at all. I know this is Wisconsin. This is Power 5. We're playing in the Big Ten. We're playing against the best of the best. Luckily, Keanu's my best friend. Like, Rodas and Keanu are my best friends, and my boy Tommy. But just having him not be one of those guys like, oh, go figure it out. But he'll show me the way. He teach me the way. So I've taken things from his game, and I want to be a sponge. And even though I'm older, in terms of how long that I've been here, I just want to continue to learn and build off of that.
It seems like Coach Tressel is going to be pretty multiple and challenge offenses with some of the alignments that you guys are going to do with those linebackers. And obviously when you have an inside linebacker blitz, you guys in the front have to really communicate, know which way you want to go.
Right.
How do you do that before a snap, or is it really just kind of baked into the play call?
Usually it's dependent on the play call.
Okay.
But we'll kind of hear keywords that will indicate whether our movement, or we know if the sandbagger's coming or the wheelbagger's coming, or even little things that Coach Tressel helps us out with in terms of like naming the calls.
Okay.
If it's a name, like I'll make something up, like,
Sure.
like jokers or something. Like if it's plural, 2 dudes are coming, 2 dudes are moving, type deal. Just little things like that to help us learn and kind of help it stick with us better.
And just from watching practice so far, that there's been 2 so far. Just it seems faster. It seems like a faster tempo. Just what's that like on the D line for you guys?
I think in terms of the tempo, moving, facilitating around team, it's absolutely more up tempo.
Yeah.
You know, get to where you gotta go. We're practicing new fundamentals. But in terms of the game and the speed, I feel like it's actually kind of slowing down for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm starting to see things better, recognizing back location, tight end away, tendencies, things they like to do. So, you know, obviously just learning over time, you're starting to see things that'll slow down for you. So that's kind of where I'm at this point in the spring.
With Curtis as well, you know, he's going to have an opportunity this year. Just what do you like about him? What have you kind of seen?
I've known Curtis since he was in 7th grade. I was a junior training him. That's my best friend. Well, that's a good friend of mine. That's my dog. We went to the same high school. We go back. So everything that I learn, I don't gatekeep information. I want to help, obviously. Like, I want us both to succeed. I feel like that's kind of something Keanu did with me. He wants us both to succeed, so I'm not gatekeeping any information by any means. I want us both to continue to grow.
I also want to jump back to, you said you kind of prefer that zero technique. What is it about it do you feel like fits your game best, or what do you just kind of like about it best?
It's physical. I just like, I don't know if we're still allowed to cuss on here.
Go ahead.
I like to run through shit. So I'm in the 0. I know the back's away. Ball's probably going that way. Just it's a knockback, get in their face, disrupt the play.
Keanu was obviously a pretty productive player here. I don't know if you guys have the mentality of trying to replace him. But I mean, like, from you and Kurt, you guys project to have the biggest role at nose tackle. What's the mentality like that going into the offseason and into the fall eventually?
I think it definitely puts a chip on our shoulder. We know we lost a big piece of our defensive line last year. But I feel like guys were looking at that as an opportunity. You know, Coach Scruggs kind of went through like all of our statistics as a D-line and then how Keanu followed into it. So we got some plays to make, you know, like he's gone. Like we done hearing about him. Like this is where we are at now, type deal. But I think it's exciting. We're all looking forward to it.
Isaiah coming back from that injury, I know he played late in the season last year and was able to chip in. Just what did the healthy Isaiah do for this defensive line as a whole?
Talking about Mullins?
Yeah.
You know, Mullins is heading into his 6th year. He's been around, he's been playing, he's been in the system. You know, maybe not always necessarily vocally, but, you know, you try his best to lead by example. And guys generally, you know, when you have a guy that's been here for as long as he's been here and had success, you know, you're going to gravitate towards that and you're going to try to learn from that.
What's Coach Scruggs like?
Coach Scruggs?
Yeah.
He's an intense dude. He got 2 Super Bowl rings, so he knows what he's talking about. And the one thing that they've kind of just been preaching is the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Okay.
So that kind of just translates to whether you're in the meeting room or on the field or even in academics. Like, I know we don't want to hear much about that, but in general, like the way you do one thing is the way you should do everything.
I don't mean this to be a dig at the old staff, but is the kind of the energy refreshing for you guys from this new staff?
It's just completely different. I don't think the approach was wrong the other time. It's just a different approach. Now it's a lot more about intensity, urgency. Like even if you guys saw us working out in the weight room, we're running from spot to spot. Like it's not really like laid back, like, all right, let's get this work in. It's like, all right, urgency, let's get in, let's get out, let's get our work, let's be efficient.
Rodas was kind of saying that the new terminology, the new technique, and the scheme kind of brought him back to freshman year where he's like, kind of don't really know what's going on, but it's also exciting at the same time. Is that kind of how you feel?
Yeah, so we live in the same building, so we talk about this stuff all the time. But, you know, there's certain words. Like we have a face technique. I know you guys probably don't know what that is, but like a face technique is actually a button cross. Like it was a face for Coach K, it's a button cross for Coach Scruggs. So little words like that kind of trip you up. So I understand what he's saying. Like when you're a freshman, you're excited, but you're not 100% sure what you're doing all the time. But once you kind of connect the words, what's supposed to mean what, I think kind of you fall in line pretty quickly. You get a hang of it. I think it's practice too. You know, we're still getting the hang of things. It's a brand new defense. We're practicing it, but I'm not worried about it. I'm excited.